All right, welcome to Bayou Time. We have the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, Mr. Jason Bergeron, in the studio. And Mr. Bergeron, good to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. Just ready to take on the cold and make sure our residents are safe.
You hadn't been in there a week and a half. You've had 2 fronts come through. Now you're having a blizzard, so to speak.
Yes.
So you've been busy with the weather.
God's sending it all, but that's okay. We're going to handle it, and we're going to
He's
work
getting you
hard.
warmed up.
Yeah, he's getting. Hopefully this is all, he gets me taken care of here, and then we're good for hurricane season.
Yeah.
So I'll take a little cold weather before
we start, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I saw you at the events, and pretty big day.
Yes, sir. Amazing day, and great to see everybody come together and really, talk about what we can do as a group, as a community, as individuals, and honoring a great man like Dr. Martin Luther King.
All right. So let's protect people now, because we know it's getting cold, and y'all been gearing up. Y'all had a report that came by. I know you have one coming up later. What initially are you hearing at this point about the cold weather right here in our area?
Initially just hearing that we're definitely going to have below freezing temperatures for periods of time, to make sure we definitely protect pipes, people, pets and plants. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like that we'll have any freezing rain, but, it definitely could result in us having some ice on the roads and ice on the bridges. And so I think it's just, it's smart to play it safe. If you don't need to be on the road, don't be on the road. And right. If you feel like you need to be on the road, still don't be on the road.
Yeah, stay home if you don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
You should do your shopping early.
Get everything done. Yeah, get everything you need, get off the road, because, the important part to remember about that is when you're out on the road and something happens, we're going to have to put a first responder in a position mm-hmm. where it endangers their lives and maybe the lives of others. And so safety is the most important.
Yeah. Let's look at some graphics if we can, if our viewers out there who are watching. There you can see the weather hazards overview for the week, and it sort of splits it up for you, and we're going to leave it up enough time for you to look at. But it comes in different waves. Like the parish president said, it's not going to be freezing for 3 days. It's going to freeze. It's going to come back over. It's going to go under again, come back over, and probably that third round will come in, and that could change. But it gives you an idea of what is taking place. And I know that how many of these sessions do y'all have on the cold? Is it once every 4 or 5 hours?
They release things at different time frames throughout the day, and then there's some main calls that happen at 6 p.m. Every day. So, okay. And it also depends on how bad it gets and what issues might arise as it happens. So,
all right, very good. Let's go to the next graphic, Jason, if we can, and we'll keep everybody. Eventually, we're gonna get the graphics that show you where to go to, but this is the precipitation type and chances forecast. But what you're hearing is probably what we're hearing, just light rain, but it depends on when the cold weather meets up with the rain falling down. We might miss that part.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's be light precipitation, but, we still got to make sure with some of these situations on, especially like the Dularge Bridge.
Yeah.
With that being iron grading, just be aware that things like that, areas like that freeze first.
Mm-hmm. And we don't want people slipping down for sure. Let's go to the next graphic, Jason, if we can. And we'll get people, that's the wind chill. Now, a lot of people, Mr. Parish President, don't realize that wind chill is pretty serious. And when that wind's blowing in, it's that cold. That's why they talk about, mid-layer levels of clothing, having clothing under your clothing. Hunters know how to dress for this occasion, but for the regular person, 2 pairs of socks, mittens instead of gloves if you have it, scarves. So put everything on that you could possibly put on.
Yeah, and if you look on the, from 12 a.m. on Tuesday till about 9 a.m. on Wednesday, it's going to be below freezing temperatures. So we got to make sure, again, stay inside, make sure everything's protected.
All right. Next graphic, if we can, Jason. There's your warming shelter, and let's talk about that because that's important. Because we were at lunch today, and Joni asked me, Martin, any idea where the shelters would be like for people who don't have a place to stay? I'll give you the floor.
Yep. So we have the Municipal Auditorium at 880 Vet Street. Opens at 2 o'clock today. It will be there until the sustained temp is above freezing. If you need a ride to that facility, you can call transit at 985-850-4616, extension 230. Make sure you bring food, water, bedding, medicine. Pets are allowed if they on a leash and a crate or in a crate. Bring food and bowls for them. We're gonna have security on site. The building has a generator. No showers, just kind of toilets and sinks. And make sure you bring baby formula and diapers.
All right, let's do this again. If we could bring up the graphics again, starting with the municipal, and we'll hold them up a little longer. So the warming shelter again, 2 p.m. and that's January 15th. And then let's go to the next one. There's your warming shelter. The parish president told you what to bring: food and water, bedding, clothing, medication, medical supplies, phone chargers, personal hygiene products, comfort items as books, games, etc. Next one, if we can, the warming shelter once again, because I want to reiterate this because we have people, sometimes they don't read it that well, and then they bring the pet and everything else. And so we're trying to get ahead of everything. And one more, if we can, before this break. If you need a lift, he gave the number, 985-850-4616, extension 230. We'll take a short break. We'll have another segment with the parish president. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Foss with the parish president of Terrebonne, Mr. Jason Bergeron, who has seen fronts come through, wind advisories, now the big freeze. And we have 3 more graphics. Let's go through those, and then I'll ask you some about personnel. And I know y'all have met on that, but let's go through the 3. And there you see it, Jason, freezing rain expected across the areas.
Yeah, you've seen it. Like I said, we talked earlier, the timing. Pretty much 6 p.m. tonight till 9 a.m. Tuesday, and it will be even colder Wednesday morning. So just because we're not going to have the rain Wednesday morning doesn't mean that we won't have the temperatures. And so just make sure, again, everything's protected, the 4 Ps. Also want to make sure that if you have a water leak that you call Consolidated Waterworks at 985-879-2495. We want to make everybody aware that, make sure you have generator safety. Don't fuel it while it's hot. Don't run it indoors. Just make sure that, the normal precautions you would take when you run a generator, that you do that. We have recreation activities that are canceled for tomorrow, and the Head Start parent meetings are also canceled for tomorrow. And so, again, it's all about safety. It's all about making sure that if you don't need to be on the road, don't go on the roads. If you see an issue, a road that is frozen, you have any problems, you can call the sheriff's office, HPD. Of course, if there's an emergency, dial 911 like you traditionally would. And so, like I said, make sure you got everything before the weather gets bad, and be prepared to hunker down for a couple days.
Do they come out, like you mentioned, waterworks? I would assume they have a safety standard too, that maybe if it's too cold and too windy,
right,
that leak's going to have to wait to be fixed.
Yes. So it's definitely, like I said, make sure everything's prepared. As much preparation as you can. Make sure all your pipes are covered, your spigots. Just make sure you do everything you can, because if there's an opportunity or a situation where somebody needs to come out and the road's closed, even if they can come out, they still might not be able to get to you.
And I know Mike Sobe has told us often that if people open their spigot too much, we're going to lose pressure.
Right.
So just a trickle.
Yeah, just a trickle. You know, we do have to contend with it. There's a fire that our firefighters will have to boost up the water pressure to make sure that's addressed. I know we have boosted up the gas pressure already to prepare for all the heaters that'll be running. And so, you know, again, if you have questions, make sure you reach out and call and just try to do everything you can to stay inside, stay off the roads, and stay safe. You know, our major areas to worry about are definitely, you know, the Twin Spans, Prospect Bridge, the tunnel, large bridges. Those are the areas that traditionally freeze when we do have a problem with freezing. So just be careful, be safe, and put safety first.
I would urge people, if you don't, I mean, we know medical personnel needs to be in the road and different things, but to come down a bridge that is iced, and it's happened to me before, it's unnerving when you're coming down a bridge and it's ice and your car starts sliding. You have no control. We're not used to that around here.
Right.
You know, so it's just one of those things. But let's bring up the 4 P's again, Jason. I want to make sure that people latch on to that. And I mean, but they've really running out of time at this point. You got to get it done.
It's time to get it done. We will have law enforcement officials. They'll have blankets. They'll have a few provisions. But again, I'd get it, you know, locked down, taken care of, especially before it gets dark, because as it gets dark is when the conditions are going to get worse.
Yeah, so there you see it, folks. The 4 P's for cold weather. Just adhere to those. And all this is going to be on Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to have this posted in short order, and you'll be able to freeze and take photos of the things you need to do. So if we move too quick for you, you could slow it down a little bit and get that done. With this opportunity, 2:40 left to go. So you've had a fast-paced week and a half, but the crowd out there for the Weenie Spaghetti Festival, that thing grew some steam, didn't it?
It was impressive. It was. And it's nice to see everybody come out and support a great cause. And that's what we do well. We have a cause, we get together, we throw an event. Usually it involves some food and some music. And it was great. I know they went through 8,000 servings in 2 hours. And so I don't think anybody would even guess half those numbers. And so, again, it's just, you know, it takes all of us. I've said it so many times before. It takes all of us to really make a difference in our community. And we're not a community that waits on the government anyway. So I really commend everybody that gets involved on a daily basis to do things in their community and help make this a better place for all of us.
Now, did you get to eat any?
I actually got to taste 26 different spaghettis. I didn't know you could cook spaghetti 26 different ways. But it was impressive to see.
You were a judge, of course.
I was a judge for that, the Bloody Marys, and for the chilies. So it was impressive to see all the different little takes.
Oh, that's
and
tough
things
to
that
be a
people
judge
do.
for the Bloody Mary thing.
Yes, it was.
Did they give you sherbet in between? I used to be a judge, and they give you sherbet to cleanse your palate.
No sherbet.
So you
no
could,
sherbet.
but I guess once you ate that many spaghettis, they don't start all tasting the same.
Yeah, it kind of starts to smell and taste the same. We joke around that, you know, next year's event ought to be sponsored by somebody like Tums or something along those lines. But it was impressive to see, you know, for that being the first event. You know, a lot of people, I hope they understand what it takes to put together an event like this. And I know some people, you know, things may not go perfectly and there's always an opportunity for improvement, but it's a lot of hard work and effort to put together an event and to have that kind of success and address that level of turnout in your first event is great. So
I'm a big believer. I don't know if anything will ever go perfectly.
Right.
So you're going to have some road bumps, but naturally, if the passion's there, people will get past anything. Well, we appreciate it. And what are you going to be doing during the freeze? You're going to be like on patrol with police checking on things?
Yeah, we're going to stay on top of what's going on and stay in communication about what issues we have. Make sure you follow our Facebook and social media platforms. As updates happen, we will be releasing them. And like I said, I know we're going to have another update here at 6 o'clock that we don't expect to change much, but we will definitely make sure we keep everybody informed. And if you have any questions, please reach out and contact us. Or again, if there's an issue you have specifically with fire, police, just make sure you reach out to the appropriate party. And
all right.
Just be safe. I've told all our employees that nothing is more important than their safety and that we're going to put safety first.
All right, the parish president, Jason Bergeron. Follow the rules. We'll see you later.